Welcome to Stitch Crazy. My name is Bee Odie and I am going to be making a little Christmas stocking. And we have a sample here on this board here. We're going to make a little one out of blue jeans, and we're going to just design it with a few accessories here. So what we're going to do, what we'll need for supplies is of course a pair of blue jeans, and then we'll have to have a piece of paper for drawing our pattern. And then we will have to have some supplies for accessorizing it. So we might want some rickrack. In this case, I'm going to use red. And then there's other like silver if you want it glittery. Here's a different type of rickrack with the gray and the black. And then we also have like these adhesive gems if you want to add that to your little Christmas stocking too, to make it more decorative. You can sew like the rickrack on, or you can use like a glue gun to glue it on. These won't be washed or anything, so if you use glue, if you don't have a sewing machine, you really don't need one, because you can stitch your stocking together by hand, or you can stitch it by machine, whichever you prefer. Okay, so first, what I did is I took like this stocking, if you have a sample, or if you just find a pattern of a stocking, whatever size you want, you can make this bigger if you want to. So I just took this and I laid it down on my sheet of paper, and I just took a pencil and drew all the way around it. And then when I'm cutting out my fabric, then I took a pair of jeans and cut them apart, and then I took and laid the pattern on the pair of blue jeans, and this one here, I cut this pattern out, and then I pinned it on, and then I just cut all the way around. And what I did is I put two pieces, so when we are sewing these together, then it'll make one stocking, okay? So then we have our pattern, we drew that out, we cut it out, and then now we're going to put it together to sew. So on this one here, we put the right sides together, and what I did is I accessorized first, but you can do it if you want to put these all the way across. And what I did is I just laid it on and took my sewing machine and sewed it all the way across. Today I didn't bring my sewing machine because I thought you can just take it to your sewing machine if you want to. Or you can take and glue it. Now, if I want to take these adhesive and add a little bit on there, we'll take this one here apart here. And these, all you have to do is take it off and just press it down on your stocking to make a design. We'll just take maybe 3 or 4. And then I just pressed them on here to stay. And then I put my two right pieces together. I take it to my sewing machine and I just sew a 1/4 inch all the way around. And then when I'm done with that, I turn it so the wrong sides are on the inside. And then on this particular one, all I did is I just folded this over on the top and glued it. And you can hand stitch this if you want. You can just take a needle and thread and hand stitch all the way around. That's fine too. And if you want to hand stitch the top down, you can do that as you're sewing too, so that you have your seam. But then you might want to take a little bit of glue, or you have like adhesive strips that you can stick in there. Nowadays they have all these little gadgets where you can just tear the paper off and stick it in there and just press it down and it seals it. So you can do it that way. So on this particular one, I just have the gold and I went across, but you can make it your own design, whatever you want. And then, like I said, I glued the top down, and then I just took some fancy thread This has kind of a gold glitter, and I thought it matched my rickrack that was on here, and for your holder. So that is in gold, and this one's in gold too, but my new one would be in silver. And if you want to take the red, you could take the red and accessorize it instead of the silver. Just put the red on there and make that work. And because this is rickrack here, and then you have, like, this is elastic and it's red, and you can just take and sew that on just like these other like the gold here. You can just sew it on with the red just like that to make it whatever color you want for your Christmas stocking. And really that's all there is to making a blue jean stocking.
Get 3 months free access on all lines plus a new 4G smartphone for only $4.99 a month. 2 great offers with Valley Cellular. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great deal.
We are going to make some Christmas ornaments. We're going to be using felt in this project. Here's a few samples of what we can make. Here is a stocking. Here is a star, here's a snowman, and then like a little Christmas tree. And so depending on what design you want to make, that's what we will make. So right now we're gonna make this little stocking here. So the supplies that we're gonna need is some embroidery floss. On this one here, we need the felt, of course. And then on this one, I put a little piece of fabric, I ironed it on, and then I did the paint. So you don't have to do it this way, but this is what I did on this particular stocking. So first of all, for the stocking, I'm gonna fold my felt piece in half because I know this will fit on this piece of felt folded in half. If you want to make a bigger one, then you may need 2 pieces of felt. So for this particular project, you need the felt, the fabric, and little accessories like these adhesive gems. On these other ones, if you want to make a little snowman, then you would want a piece of fabric for around here. I just did marker for the face and the little buttons, but you can use actual little buttons or beads. And these all have like little floss hangers. So first of all, on this one, I'm going to fold my felt, and I'm going to draw around so we know, use this as a pattern. And if you have a different size that you want, you can certainly, like I said, make it any size you want. And if you wanted to make this out of fabric instead of felt, you can certainly do that. And I'm just using a pencil here to draw. You can use a pen if you prefer to have the line darker because you are going to be cutting on that line. So, because I want 2 pieces like this, I just folded them together. And then you'll need a scissors, of course. So we will just cut around this piece. It doesn't take too long to do these projects. It's just getting everything together and sitting down and doing them. Okay. Okay, so now I have my 2 pieces for my stocking. Now you can do this 2 ways. You can take your sewing machine and just sew all the way around it 1/4 of an inch. That's what I've done on this one. And if you do that, then I would also cut out a little piece. I'm going to cut out another color. I think I will just cut out of this tan. Take that little sticker off there. And I just measure, you know, about how far and then how wide. So I'm just going to lay this on here and just quickly draw where I want to cut it. And we only need one because we want that for the front. And like I said, you don't have to have this piece on there if you don't choose to. I'm just adding a little decoration. And then you just lay it on here. And you can pin this together and take it to your sewing machine. Otherwise, you can use floss, and then you can just take it and do like a running stitch. Just go in and out and in and out and in and out until you're all the way around it, because that's just another way of finishing it. Like for iron-on, what I did here is I found this piece of Christmas fabric, and then I took the iron-on patch, and I did this ahead of time. I ironed this on, and then you can decide, okay, do I want just this middle square, or do I want this? You could kind of lay it on your piece to see. I'm going to cut just the smaller piece here. Actually, cut it down a little bit more. And then when you have the iron on, then you just remove this first iron on piece. And then it's like a little sticky back. And then you just lay it on your stocking wherever you want it, and then you press it with an iron. And most of the time these iron-on fusible webs, they have instructions on how long you should keep the iron on for it. Because this is felt, you kind of want to just be careful. But just quickly put it on there. And then afterwards, what I did on this one, I took paint and I sealed it with the paint. And on this particular one, I just kind of made little lines so it looked like there was like stitching, but it's actually not. Okay, so that's how you would do that one.
Blazing fast broadband internet from Valley is now available and better than ever. Let us help you decide which speed is best for you. The 50 meg speed would be sufficient for 1 to 4 devices, mainly emailing and surfing the web. Our 100 meg speed works great for 5 to 8 devices and multiple users streaming and downloading video. If you have 8 devices or more that are simultaneously streaming or gaming, or if you have a medium-sized business, the 250 meg speed would work best for you. For extreme heavy home or work from home use, or if you have a medium to large business using 15 or more devices, you may want to consider our 500 meg download speed to fit your needs. And if you're a home or business that needs it all, we have our 1000 meg, 1 gig broadband internet speed. Call our office today at 437-2615 and talk with one of our staff members to pick the speed that's best for you.
On this felted star, you can make the star just with the felt, or you can decorate it. I bought this is called Battenberg lace. So I bought the Battenberg lace, and then I glued this onto the star. And then in the middle here is what we call a yo-yo. And I just cut out a circle, and I stitched in the middle and drew it up, and then you make a little yo-yo. And then I glued that on for extra decoration. And then I also put a little ribbon. I glued that on. So there again, you would just take your felt, and I don't know if I can, well, I can make it with 2 different colors. I can have different colors on the front and the back. So you just lay, if you have a pattern already, then you could just reuse this and then draw it out. Or if you want it smaller, if you find another pattern in your embroidery designs, or like a coloring book, or anywhere where there's different types of pattern, you can go on the internet and just say star pattern, and there's probably a pattern that you can download and make your star whatever size you want. So then you just lay it on your felt, and there again you just draw it out, and then you cut it. And on this one here, I sewed my 2 pieces together with embroidery. This particular stitch is called like a blanket stitch. So you would lay it here. Now this one I put a little bit of batting on the inside. So I cut a piece of batting the same size as my star, and then I sewed it together by just doing a blanket stitch, and that's what makes that decorative. And then at the very end, I just left enough embroidery. So I started at the top and ended at the top for a little hanger. And you can do the same technique with this little Christmas tree. There again, you can, when you're doing your pattern, you can kind of make it so it has a little roughness so it looks more like a tree. Just do 2 pieces, put a little batting on the inside. And there again, I just started at the top with my dark green, so you can't see the stitching. And I did a little blanket stitch and come to the end, and then just left a little bit extra for a hanger. Now you can do the same thing with this little snowman. I used white felt for the snowman. And then I laid it out, I had 2 pieces, and then drew it out. You can also find a pattern online for the snowman too. And then I drew it out, cut 2 pieces, put a little batting in there to make it a little poofy. Here I just took a little piece of fabric, just enough to make it look like a little scarf, and I glued that on there. And like I said, here I used marker, but you can use buttons or beads, whichever you choose to do. So this is just a quick little lesson on the different Christmas ornaments that you can make with felt. Hope you've enjoyed the show today. If you want to be a host, or if you have any ideas for us, please call us at 437-2615. Thank you.